Michelle and I.
Whenever.
Here we go.
Good evening. Welcome to the January 14th, 2020 Commission on Disabilities meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting comes to order. If we could please have a roll call of the members.
Roll call of members. Michelle DeBellis.
Present.
Pauline Perno.
Present.
Albert Sheridan. Enza Goodwin.
Present.
Ralph DeChico, Chairman.
Present.
Rick Frenney, co-chair, present. Absent is Robert Bent. All accounted for, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you. The first item on this month's agenda, before that, I just wanted to wish everyone a 2020, since this is our first meeting of the new year. Wish everyone a healthy, prosperous, and good New Year's to everyone and their families. The first item I have is a motion to approve the meeting minutes from December 10th, 2019. I had sent a copy of them to everyone here and also via email last week, so that you could have a moment and take a look at them, make sure everything was fine and if we need to make any changes.
Motion to approve the minutes from December 10th, 2019. Anyone would like to second that motion?
Second.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item number 2 is the Dakota Commission on Disabilities monthly alliance meeting. Unfortunately, with the holiday, they had rescheduled the meeting that was supposed to take place last week, but because of a scheduling conflict with the chair that runs those meetings, they had moved it to tomorrow. So I do not have anything to discuss on that meeting. So at next month's meeting, I will be discussing probably 2 months monthly meeting agendas. So I just wanted to keep you updated on that. And as always, if there's anything that you'd like me to discuss on those monthly calls, or any information you want me to get from any other Commission on Disabilities in the area, please feel free to drop me a note and I could ask them that I can get it on that agenda. So if any questions on that. Item number 3 is the January events, CPAC events, and any updates from events that took place in December. And either Enza or Michelle, you can flip a quarter for whoever wants to discuss that.
So scheduled for this month of January, CPAC is looking to host an opportunity for parents of middle and high school students to come hear presentations from a speech therapist and an occupational therapist on transitioning beyond high school. We were hoping to run this event on Thursday, January 23rd. Currently, we only have a couple parents who have signed up, so we are not exactly sure if we still plan on running it or if we're going to postpone it for the spring. I think what we're running into right now is with the cold winter and a lot of families relying on public transportation, they just can't get out to us. So if it does get rescheduled, we will update the community with the future date and time.
Enza, how are they communicated about the event?
So what we do, our school liaison, Jackie Royce, shares the information with all of the SLG, all the small learning group teachers and special needs teachers, as well as all the therapists that are in the schools. They share all that through social media pages, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Dr. Vidala also shares it out with all families electronically of kids with special needs. And then Ralph also usually shares most of our events on the website as well. Oh, and then we also do a remind, and we do have a couple text messages that go out to families who've signed up. So it goes out in multiple ways to pretty much everyone in the community.
Thank you. Yeah, it's, I wish they had this when my children were small, but, this is wonderful. Hopefully you get a big turnout. And like I said, if anyone knows about transitioning from high school and beyond, it's me. So I can, when you're ready, I can definitely come down and talk about what I've done for my son and now for my daughter between guardianship and college and social security or post-grad school and all kinds of stuff and job placement and everything else. So I can tell you what we went through, how to get it done, so.
And that's the thing, I feel as a community, we're very lucky because we have people that come out and volunteer, not only their time, but their knowledge and their expertise, and this is just another example. I mean, you're offering to come out. We have a speech therapist, an occupational therapist, and anyone who works with those therapists through insurance knows how much it costs just to even meet with them. So the fact that they're willing to come out for free and share their expertise. So the only thing we can hope is that if we do reschedule it, that we can get some more people out.
Just a quick question for you. Would you ever, and not that it would take place for this meeting, but have you ever considered doing like a webinar for people who cannot get out for whatever reason? I know that there is a huge population with the public transportation, and especially if they've got small children on top of it, going out on a very, very cold, probably it's going to be slippery if we know our luck. But I'm thinking if you ever did like a podcast or a webinar, and at least that way you would still be reaching the families, they would still be able to attend per se, and still be able to ask the questions. And that might be something to look into for future. I know that that's what they did for us is transitioning, nursing, because we were also spent from 12-hour shifts, is to offer them so that you could do them in your jammies at home or whatever, but at least you would still get the population that you're trying to target. And that might be something to look forward or look into in the future.
Yeah, and I think, Rick, you had mentioned it a little while back, maybe if we were having the event also live streaming it so that if people were at home, they could see. The other caveat that we're trying to work on is having translators there as well and determining which language or languages we need represented, which just adds a different dimension and a different layer to it as well.
As a point of information too, if you're looking for the translators, they do have the technology that I know they've used for the Next Stop Reviews. They have headsets, and you could talk to somebody in the city, probably in the planning department. I believe they have been using them for Spanish and Portuguese for those Next Stop Review meetings. So what they would do is, you would get an idea of how many of those people will be coming, and they'll bring those devices right then and there. So that would be a lot easier. Anyone else have any thoughts on that? Or I think it's actually a good idea too to try and do it in the springtime, and because of you never know what the weather is, and it's probably a good time for this year. But in the future, if this is something that you're looking on doing, it's also a good time to do it right in the fall when school goes back. Because that's when you have a lot of the parents' eyes and ears and are looking for information and are willing to be receptive to information.
Just, I don't know if it's a point of information, but in the past, over the last 3 years, I have helped out individuals outside Revere whose families are going through what my son went through and help them apply and gain guardianship and in the Social Security and getting into an after-school program post-grad if they deferred the diploma. So I've done one-on-one presentations with parents within their child, and it's been successful. I mean, I should charge for the service, but I just feel, just kidding, of course, but it took us so many strikes to get it right, and then we got it right. And I don't want anyone else to have to go through what Jody and I went through to get everything right. So we have it all down. I got a nice system, a nice folder at home that I just kind of teach everyone, give them the copies, and then they go with it. And you can do it all without getting an attorney, you know. It's just self-advocating and doing the right thing. It's a lot of paperwork, but pays off in the long run. Sorry for taking your time there, Mr. Chairman.
Not at all. This is not my time. This is everyone's time, and this is information for everyone out there.
I have a question. On the CPAC events, do people only find out from this meetings here, or is it something that's in that Revere Journal? Or is it, I mean, how do the families find out beside what we tell them on
Yes.
this event here?
So what we do, so CPAC is a volunteer-run organization, and it's myself, Michelle, Jen Duggan, and then we have a school liaison, Jackie Roy. We technically only need to offer 6 meetings a year, I believe it is. We try to offer 1 meeting a month, 1 opportunity a month, whether it be an event for children or an event for the parents. And all of the information is shared through Dr. Vidal, our assistant superintendent. He shares it out to all families that have a child with special needs in the school district or that are outplaced. And then we share it through different social media sites like Facebook or Twitter or Remind. So it goes out to the schools share it with the families, we share it with the families, we talk about it here, so.
No, my question wasn't because when you had said you only had a couple of families that
Yeah.
had signed up, I was
Right.
wondering maybe that they're not finding out about it.
No, I mean, it gets shared, I don't know.
Just curious.
Yeah, no, I know, it's like daunting and frustrating at times because, you know, everyone's so quick to complain and say that things aren't being offered, and we really try to offer so much, and everything we try to offer is free to families, and it would just be nice to get more involved.
Thank you.
Enzer, on that, I just totally wanted to mention, I'm not sure if you're utilizing it, and I believe Nick Romano is in charge of the city calendars website. And if you don't have that information, if you can reach out to him, or if not, I can send you anything, any city events. There's a page, I believe, Rick, I had given it to you to post on there too. It's like a questionnaire, and you put all the information on there, and then it goes on to the city's webpage for the calendar of events. So that is another avenue that it will get out there for you. So if you don't get a contact there, I could send you an email that I was given.
I can tell you.
Yeah, because I sent it to Rick.
I will forward it to you when I get home this evening.
Because that's a good resource to get information out there citywide, and it goes to different department heads, different departments, and then then it will go word of mouth from them, and they can pass it on to. Moving on is item 4 was an update that I just wanted to update everyone on a resident's concerns that was brought up at our December meeting for the edification of the viewing audience here. There's so many here, and the public that is either watching it now or watching it later. We had a resident who had some concerns about the changing rooms of Planet Fitness. She was stating that a couple of issues that around the benches, they don't have railings for her and whatnot. So I followed up in 2 ways. I followed up with the state MOD and also with building inspectors for the code. And there is no code that is not needed. Reason being that there's not railings around those is anybody that would need a device should be able to have a walker with them, so that there's no barrier that could stop them if there was a railing or whatnot there. So I had contacted the resident and let her know the answer on that. And her second issue was that it was slippery coming from the showers. into the changing room, and I actually knew the answer at that time, but I just wanted to, to get the exact answer from the city and also from the state. But it is a health code that you cannot be walking barefoot in a public facility going from a shower to a changing or another facility. You need to have, non-slip shoes on and whatnot, because you're stating that it's tile. So just for the edification of everyone, we do get the answers and find out the information. So I just wanted to pass that along, and if anybody had any questions or comments on that.
Just a point of information for that young lady that's probably watching, or anyone else, when you go to a gymnasium and you use the showers, please bring your own sandals. That's how foot diseases are contracted. Thank you.
Anyone else have any? I'm sure a few of the members here knew those answers also last week, but like I said, we just want to do the due diligence and let everyone know that we do find information out for everyone. You just got to let us know what you need, and we're here for everyone. Next is item 5 is late items. If any will be discussed, if any arise after the posting of the monthly agenda. So I'm not sure if anyone has any late items or any issues or questions or comments.
Before I lose my speech, I'd like to say, job well done last night, Mr. Chairperson, at the council meeting, representing the folks. As far as the America with Disability Act goes, to the point of sidewalks, curb cuts, handicap signs, length of footage between crosswalks and the sign. It was just, you covered it all. And America with Disability Act it's a law. It is huge. You can't. There are classes on it. You can't explain it to a city council in 5 minutes. But you had your MGL, you had all your laws down, you were efficient, effective, to the point, succinct. And you, I was very proud of you. You did a good job last night. When I was at the state, I would have to handle that myself with the American Disability Act, taking, widening sidewalks to comply with wheelchairs up and down the street. So you did a great job last night. Very proud of you. Did your homework. I taught you well.
Thank you. And Pauline, just for your information too, one of the councilors brought up about crosswalks last night. I'm not sure if you saw about the distance that vehicles should be parking from it, and they wanted to try and get it at least 10 feet from a crosswalk, or in some issue was 20 feet. And one point that I stated, and it was after the meeting, that there is a problem with crosswalks being at non-intersections. Crosswalks should not, I believe, be in the middle of street somewhere where there's not an intersection, for 2 reasons. Number one, it's a false positive. And number two, when you do have the situation of cars being there, you don't have the lights as a secondary way of crossing. So that was my point last night. So it is on the city's radar about the crosswalks. So not only concerns that are being taken up with Julie Demaro for the beach, it's also citywide. So I wanted to let you be aware of that.
Well, thank you. I had another incident today where I watched someone almost get hit. It's still, even on a day like today that is not bright and sunny 70s like we had over the weekend. The weekend posed a different whole set of issues because it was very crowded down there. But there were a number of cars. And yes, some of the distances between the parking and then the crosswalk looked appropriate. But I had my son watch as we went up the beach, and to let me know about how far he thought it was before you could actually see where a person would be standing to enter the crosswalk. And he said that coming from his standpoint, him as the passenger, he had never really noticed it because it was not of an issue. But now that he's driving and, behind the wheel, I want not only my kids, but all new drivers, all seasoned drivers to be aware that people are not being visualized. Dogs aren't being visualized. Children, handicapped, it didn't matter. It doesn't matter who it is. And it isn't just on the beach, you're right, it's system-wide. And I've noticed it up here in the morning, during the morning commute. It's rampant on Malden Street, where Malden Street comes out onto Broadway, where you can cross over to go down School Street through the back. It's horrible. That particular intersection is brutal. So I'm glad that it is being evaluated and recognized.
The entrance into the entrance into Mass General Hospital. Oh, the entrance into Mass General Hospital is the exact same. You get people parking right in the crosswalk, not only the cars, but you actually have the vans that bring the people to the hospital parking right in the crosswalks and leaving the vehicles there, so you can't see anybody coming until you're like you said, until they're in front of you.
And that's actually one of the things that I brought up too last night about, parking on the sidewalks and parking in crosswalks. It's all part of the same MGL law, that it's not allowed and they can be tagged. And when in certain areas is that's, of course, that's the state police down there. But the parking enforcement officers are actually, for the city of Revere, are now starting to do the sidewalk parking. They'll be looking at the crosswalk issues. But I had asked Council Novoselsky too that I think we should try and see how many crosswalks are not at intersections and how many of those can be removed, if they can be, because I think that's a big problem too. So I think that maybe, but there was some mentioning last night, and some comments were made that where if we limit the distance of a vehicle parking to a crosswalk, you eliminate parking spots. That to me doesn't make sense, because you want to save a parking spot instead of saving somebody's life.
Thank you. You just took the words out of my mouth. Thank you very much.
And it didn't make sense to me. So a parking spot is not more valuable than a life to me, or whether it's a person or an animal, a well-bodied individual or a disabled individual or an elderly individual. So a parking spot doesn't take precedence over a human being or an animal. So that's my feelings on that.
I'll second that. Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions, comments, or any other on that? Okay. Any other, besides that item that we mentioned, is there any other items that anyone would like to mention? Any things that we'd like to...
Bring up Bobby.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up... any other issues you'd like to see us tackle, or any other questions, concerns that you've heard from residents?
It's not an item to tackle at this point, but I think it's something that we may be hearing a lot more about, is the difference between service dogs and therapy dogs. I haven't been part of conversations. I've overheard conversations in places that I've been, public buildings, stores, and there's been some back and forth. So I have a feeling that it's going to become a rather a hot topic, one that we're going to see a lot more, and back and forth between what delineates a service dog versus an emotional or a therapeutic dog.
Okay, I've done some extensive communications and discussions on that, and what it is a service animal is a service. The thing is, a service animal is a service animal through the ADA laws, and is covered by the ADA laws. Is the service animal has to physically do something for a disabled resident. A therapeutic or emotional dog is not covered under the ADA laws. Regardless of what kind of therapeutic service that animal does, it's not covered under the ADA law. The only animals that are covered under the ADA law that can provide a service, believe it or not, is a dog or a miniature horse. Okay?
I've seen those. I've seen them in
Okay,
action.
so those are the two animals. I have the exact laws. I've been questioned on it. The only thing that someone can ask is what service your dog provides. There's two questions: what service your dog provides. And I don't want to give the wrong answer. I actually had it on here because I always have it on my laptop. Now it's the new laptop. But I could pull it up when we have another discussion if we go on more, if anybody else has comments on it. And the other thing, there's a misconception out there that service animals do need certifications and papers. That is, in plain English, a scam. So if anybody says, show your papers, I know there are airlines that try and make you buy papers. That is a scam. That is against the law. So you do not need papers for a service animal. So if anybody asks you for papers or a designation, that is not true and not needed. So when you see people saying, well, let me see the designation, where is the vest on the animal? Where is your papers for the animal? That's not needed, and that's not a law. So I just wanted to mention that, and if any comments, and I do have the law. I'll send it to everyone here, and if anybody wants the law, they can email me and I can send it to them. But I do have it because I've had a lot of calls on that, and people questioning, well, the dog is therapeutic for me. I need it to pet, and calms me down. That's not considered a service animal and protected under the EADA laws.
Right, I know that I've been in several, just over the past month, it seems that there's been more and more and more discussion. And so I have a feeling that it's going to become more and more prominent everywhere, and it's going to become topics that I think we're all going to hear about and maybe be put in place. That maybe there needs to be something more education-wise. And I don't always know if it's, like, again, I was not part of the conversation. I overheard a conversation, and it never went through the certification or anything. It was just questioning, why do you have the dog? And that's how it all started. And I was like, you know what? This is something that a lot of businesses, I think, have to have some more education, whether it comes from internal or externally. But I think that's something that we're going to see a lot more of.
What I can comment on that, what it is, the state MOD offers Title I and Title II training for the municipalities through the state, and we did have that in Revere when I first came on to revamp the Commission on Disabilities in the city of Revere. Never had that done, and I brought that in for all the department heads and anybody that worked in the city, and we did have that, and they did touch upon the service animals, and we did have it for everybody in the city of Revere.
Perhaps something down the road we could discuss in a few months about the therapy and service dogs, or maybe have some sort of, whether it's something here at the meeting, a presentation of some sort, an expert from the state office to come and explain, and how people can go about seeing if they qualify for a therapy or service dog, cost involved, money available, loans, grants. I know there's quite a few people in this community alone that definitely would benefit from either service or therapy. So that's something we should consider. I don't know if it's in our realm of power, if something I know we can't do it ourselves, but perhaps invite someone down, or maybe get a podcast or something live on Revere TV, do a special show about it. Just an idea, Mr. Chairperson, just kind of going off what everyone's speaking about here tonight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anyone else have any comments on that? I was trying to go through everything. It's all over the place on my laptop because I wanted to read the exact law to everyone. But what I'll do is I'll make note that I can read it at the next meeting, and I'll also forward that to everybody. It's interesting to tell you the exact two questions that can be asked. And they're pretty basic, that anyone can ask a person that has an animal with them. So item 8 would have been an open forum for residents' concerns. I didn't receive any electronically, and I don't have any in the audience. I don't know if anyone else received any emails, but if not, we could skip that. Item 7 is the next steps. Like I said, I will get you the law and what can be asked for service animals, and take that up for the next meeting. And I will give an update for this month's monthly CODA meeting that I will be having tomorrow. Next is item 8 is our monthly reminder. But before we do that, I just wanted to take a moment and just update the public and the commission. I mentioned it briefly before the meeting that our commission member noticed Robert Bent is not here. He hasn't been here. He's been dealing with some health issues. He actually was in the hospital from Christmas Eve. He actually just came home late this afternoon, so he's home and he's doing better, and just wanted to extend our well wishes to him and hope he continues to recover and get better, and want to see him flying down over here and giving us grief on his 2 wheels here. And,
Yes, I miss the grief. I miss the grief. We miss you, Barbie. We'll see you next month. You better be here or else.
Right, and if Michelle, would you read item number 8 for us?
The Commission of Disabilities has office hours on Fridays from 8:15 to 12:15 in the Veteran Service Office in the rear of the Legion Building at 249 Broadway, which is next door to City Hall. You can call for an appointment if you would like, but you do not need one. You will be able to talk to someone from our 311 Service Center on other days when you call our office at 781-286-8267. They will be able to answer most questions, but if they are unable to, or you would like a call back from our office, they can transfer you to the Disability Office voicemail, and someone will get back to you as soon as they can. Also, please let us know if you would like something discussed or brought up and added to our monthly meeting agenda. You can let us know if you would like to come and speak on any issues or concerns. The Commission is here to help and assist all disabled residents and families of Revere.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion granted.
And second?
Second.
Okay, this meeting is adjourned. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, February 11th, 2020 at 6 p.m. Let's see this year if we can have a February meeting, because the past 3 years we have not. Thank you and have a good night.